As you'll all be aware, we've got two more very special guests, both of which come from the continent. One of whom was a last-minute addition, and I'm very happy to introduce him today. We're quite lucky, really, to have speakers from the continent, and everyone here has likely been following the successes nationalism has had in Europe. And there's a lot that we can learn from their success to help our own growth here in the UK. The Alternative for Deutschland, as many of you will know, is a successful German political party. Many of us will have seen their recent successes in state elections. And with 77 members of parliament, 15 MEPs, and over 200 members of regional parliaments, the AfD have a clear record of success and growth in Germany. An element of their success, which should not go unnoticed, is their appeal to younger voters. For example, in a recent election in Saxony, the AfD were the most popular party with 16 to 24-year-olds. So our next speaker works in the youth wing for the AfD, Young Nationalist, to talk, and he's here to talk to us about his work with their youth movement and their success, how they achieve the success with the youth, and the work that they do to build on that. So please allow me to introduce from the AfD, Manuel Schreiber.
Hello, thank you for having me. Thank you for the warm welcome. I was really honored that I got my personal sign out there. Okay. The German youth is on the right. This is obvious when looking at the voting results of the state elections this year. In Saxony and Brandenburg, the AfD, my home party, got 31% on the 16 to 24-year-olds. In Thuringia, we even got 38%. By far, we're the strongest party in this age group in each of those states. It's a similar pattern we are seeing in each and every election in Germany. The youth is voting right. The middle-aged working people are voting similar. Only the 60-plus-year-olds are still voting for their old cartel parties. How did this come to be? And why are we still seeing the established old parties win and form governments? To tackle those questions, we have to dig a bit into the history of the AfD and into German society. The AfD is a young party, at least compared to other right-wing movements across Europe. When we were founded in 2013, we started as a neo-liberal Eurosceptic party. The AfD proposed a turnaround in Europolitics, wanted to bring back the old German currency, the Deutsche Mark, and wanted in principle a Germany, which actually would be in many aspects like we viewed the UK at that point. An old European power, somewhat preserving the glory from the golden days around the turn of the century, with some aspects of EU, but more focus on national sovereignty. It was maybe an interesting idea for some professors and conservatives who were alienated by the Christian Democrat CDU, but it was nothing really new. Even the media was supportive at first, highlighting this fresh new wind blowing into German politics, but always with the thought in mind that the AfD is fading soon enough into irrelevance like every other new conservative party in the history of the Federal Republic. But then came the unexpected. 2015 and Merkel's decision to open the borders. Teenage girls were screaming refugees welcome and gifting teddy bears to migrants pouring into our nation by the millions. There was unrest in Germany. Many people were rightfully so shocked and terrified by the things they were seeing on the news. And what did the political landscape do? They called each and everyone who was skeptic of this mass import of non-Europeans a Nazi. We didn't. There was a consensus of giving those people a voice who wanted to preserve their national identity. At least, at first there was. But with the breaking out of the narrative of the mainstream, there began the hate from the media and the other parties. Some members didn't take this too well, especially those who were well-respected members of society and academia before. Those members tried at first to stop the party from drifting more towards the right, away from being a neoliberal small party towards being a real alternative for Germany. And then they left. First Lucke, then Petri, and the last for now, Meuthen. If those names are saying nothing to you, don't worry, that's the point. With each wave of exits, the party was sharpening its profile. The vanishing of the first guard gave space for new stars to rise, like Björn Höcke, Maximilian Krah, or Christoph Bern. With the new guard, there came new talking points, and now the AfD is a party which is stating that the future of Germany can only lay on the right. Why the right? Why not in the conservative way? That's the point differentiating us from the mainstream in Germany. Everyone can be a conservative. A member of the left party in Germany who thinks there are only 5 genders instead of 3,000 could be called a conservative. Merkel was called a conservative, and she led millions of migrants to Europe. And by the way, what is there left to conserve in this Europe? Transatlanticism? Transnationalism? A cult of shame for our identity? American philosopher Albert Hubbard once stated, "A conservative is a man who is too cowardly to fight and too fat to run." And exactly that's the point. We want to fight the status quo. We do not want to conserve this failing continent. But we also do not want to erode what was before us. Being right means to put something new on this building which was left to us by our forefathers. Not only preserving, but expanding on this monumental construct which is our culture and our way of living. This is what we as AfD came to, and it's reasoning extremely well with the youth. Maximilian Krah, an MDP from Dresden, got famous in Germany via TikTok. And as it's standard on TikTok, his message is simple. He's saying to the youth, be proud in what you are, have faith in your heritage, and also go touch grass. Europe's youth is lost in its identity. From birth on, we are getting told that we are guilty, that there is this eternal shame we are never being able to erase. In Germany, it's our Nazi past and the Holocaust. In Britain and France, it's your colonial past. And it's making people depressive. It's no wonder we're having skyrocketing cases of mental illnesses in the younger generation everywhere in Europe. Everyone who wants to be proud in something is put down. The only way to be proud in yourself is to be part of a marginalized group. And as there's no way to become black or Arab for European children, what they do is either be a community quote-unquote defending those people, or being part of a queer community, or simply giving up. But when we're saying to the youth, it's okay, you can be proud in who you are, as a Brit, as a German, as a Pole, they are loving it. And this message is spiraling way out of just the AfD. The summer hit in Germany this year was Gigi D'Agostino's L'amour toujours, with the lyrics, Germany for the Germans, foreigners out, sung over the melody which serves as the chorus in the song. By the way, if anyone wondered, that's why the comments are down on the music video on YouTube. There's a whole subculture evolving in Germany, organically made up by young people who are fed up with the way politics are working, or better, not working, in Germany. There are memes, songs, and even video games produced, and it's talking to more and more people by the day. The mainstream is seeing this, and they are getting more and more afraid. Rightfully so. At first they talked about facing us in discussions and proving us wrong, but those times are long gone. They're trying now to scandalize us, and there are preparations for outlawing us in Germany. But the box of the Pandora is wide open, and we are not going anywhere. In Thuringia, we became the overall strongest party in the state elections, a first time in party history. Of course, they are keeping us out of the coalition, even if that means that the conservative CDU is calling with the communist BSW. But sooner or later, there is no way going past us. The reality the German people are facing each day and the dying of the only people still voting for the cartel parties is the force of the factual driving us closer and closer to power by the day. The only worries I'm having is that it might not come soon enough. 30+% in the East are nice, but at current immigration rates and birth rates, we might see ethnic Germans become a minority in Germany by the 2050s. I know it's not looking better in Britain or France, maybe a bit better in Poland. The fight we are fighting now is determining the future of our continent, more so than the last century, which its two world wars could. And that's why I'm saying thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you in this room. Thank you for not letting your nation and our continent down. But I won't end on a black pill, so I'll instead end with a poem. First in German, then I'm giving you the translation. The poem is written around 1806, when the Holy Roman Empire was dissolved, and it's an appell to every German. Albert Mattei, Fichte an jeden Deutschen. Du sollst an Deutschlands Zukunft glauben, an deines Volkes Auferstehen. Lass diesen Glauben dir nicht rauben, trotz allem, was geschehen. Und handeln sollst du so, als hinge von dir und deinem Tun allein das Schicksal ab der deutschen Dinge und die Verantwortung wär dein. Now giving you the translation. When I'm saying Germany, just put in your nation, because I think this is applying to all of us. You shall believe in Germany's future, in your people's resurrection. Do not let this belief be taken from you, despite everything that has happened. And you should act as if the fate of German matters depends solely on you and your actions. The responsibility is yours. I think some of the poetics, if not all, got lost in the translation process, but German isn't a melodic language anyway, so be it. Again, thank you for having here. Thank you for being here and trying to preserve your nation. And I'm looking forward to the Q&A after. Thank you.